Welcome to No Stats, what we call it, how we see it.
All right, Wiggle. 34 Switchblade. On two. I love all y'all, baby. Friday Night Lights, man. Friday Night Lights. Say you want to win, put Booby in. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, bro. Let's talk football on that note. NFL draft a month away, right? So I've seen a lot of other platforms and places do their power rankings. So we're going to do the No Stats power rankings, pre-NFL draft power rankings as of right now. I'm not giving y'all 32 teams because the bottom half of the league don't deserve the time right now. So we starting at 16. So we're basically doing the top 16 teams. Right now, currently constructed. This is the way I feel, so I'll exclude Peach. I would say No Stats, but Peach is probably going, we're probably going to have some going back and forth after this. So I'm going to run through the teams. Here we go. At number 16, I got the Denver Broncos. I'm paying respect to Sean Payton. I know they looked horrible last year. I know they did. But I think they added some key pieces to their offensive line. I think Sean Payton's going to get them rolling. Like I said, I think you got to put Russell Wilson in a good position to succeed, and I think he'll do that. And 16 is, giving them some credit.
I can agree with that. Middle of the pack. They
Exactly.
can't possibly be much worse than what they fucking just was.
They already hit the ceiling, right? Now they got to bounce up. 15, I got Pittsburgh Steelers. Solely off the respect of Mike Tomlin and T.J. Watt. I mean, Mike Tomlin, I think last year was his first losing season. I don't even know if he lost.
I don't think they
so.
might have had a winning record.
I think they did.
Well.
He's never had a losing record. They just find a way to win. They play well in the AFC North every year. T.J. Watt.
Who's their quarterback again?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. Okay.
Kenny Pickett. I think he's another year under his belt. He was a rookie last year. They got some talented pieces. George Pickens, Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson. So I think they'll be, formidable as always. Number 14, I got the New York Giants. This is a team that shocked a lot of people last year. I love what Brian Daboll's doing. They instilled some confidence in Daniel Jones. I think they will take a step back. They won't be as good as last year, but they'll still be contending.
Even with the Darren Waller addition, too?
Even with the Darren Waller addition. I think there's limitations with Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Okay.
At 13, I have the Seahawks. Another team that jumped on the map last year. We didn't think Geno Smith was going to play this well. I was kind of hesitant on putting them above the Giants because Geno just got paid. And it seems like when quarterbacks get paid, unless you're one of them dudes, one of them guys, after you get paid, it's like a kind of relaxing. You don't play with that chip on your shoulder. That could be the case of Geno, but I'm riding with Pete Carroll, and I like the way these young players are playing in Seattle. And then throw in DK Metcalf. They have some weapons and stuff over there, so I'm going Seattle at 13. 12, I got Minnesota. Another team that's going to take a step back. Another team that's going to take a step back. But talent, I like Kevin O'Connell. They're in a division that's kind of weak. I think Green Bay takes a major step back. The Bears will be better, but I think Minnesota, will be viable in the NFC. At 11, I got the Jets. Now, this is...
We made it!
This is with... I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. But without Aaron Rodgers, they'll still be... they played well last year. So I'm going Jets at 11. I think they have a lot of talent. I think they've drafted well. The Jets have drafted well. And I think they'll continue to do that in this draft, to build that team up. So I got the Jets at 11. At 10, I have the Detroit Lions, who I think will win their division. I think Detroit is rolling. They're believing. Even not making the playoffs, they just look like a team, headed in the right direction. Why am I drawing a blank on the coach's name? Why am I drawing a blank?
That coach is looking better over there, man.
Dan Campbell. He has them boys fired up, playing with a purpose. They're young. They don't know no better. They think they're supposed to be, winning the championship, and that's what's good, right? That's what happened. That's what happens with franchises that have struggled. When you get a young team in there that don't care about the past, they like, I don't care if it's the Lions. I'm on the team. We're gonna make this, this team rock. And I think they're putting the right pieces around Jared Goff to let him succeed. So
that's how you build a culture there, man. When you let go of that funky shit that's been happening in the past.
All that bad buju out the door, all that bad shit out the door, and bring some new players in. Number 9, I got the Chargers. Again, solely off the quarterback. I think Justin Herbert's a top 5 quarterback, arguably in the league. What he can do on the field is unbelievable. They have star players on both sides of the ball. Derwin James. They got Joey Bosa over there on the defensive end. They'll keep Mike Williams. He's a beast. I know Austin Eckler might be out the door, but I think they can find somebody, if not in the draft, somewhere to replace some of that production. And they also have the Cowboys. Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator, that came over there. I think that's going to be big for the Chargers. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender yet, but they'll win a playoff game next year. I can see that happening. So it'll be Justin Herbert's first playoff win. 8, I have Jacksonville. I wanted to reverse these, but I gave Jacksonville the respect because they beat the Chargers in the playoffs last year.
The young boys, the up-and-coming young boys.
So I have Jacksonville at 8, exactly. I like Trevor Lawrence, but more so I just like Doug Peterson, man. I feel like Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and then he got fired, and it's just like Doug Peterson just had to rebuild himself. It's not a lot of Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in the NFL. The list is short, and he's a guy that has a Super Bowl. He brings the best out of quarterbacks. They get Calvin Ridley back. They're going to be a team that win that division. They'll be a team that'll be dangerous. I
think Calvin Ridley is going to have a phenomenal year coming back. I just read his story and just, seeing what he went through and how he got, like, his journey to the league was fucking crazy. So,
yeah, I think he got a lot to prove.
Yep.
I think he got a lot to prove. At 7, I have the Dallas Cowboys. I think the changes they made, right, getting Brandon Cooks was huge. CD has another year under his belt. Tony Pollard will be back healthy. Dak, as long as he's going to put you in position to win some games. Like I said, there'll be a regular season team at the least. They have a lot of talent on that team. Micah Parsons, I think, is going to be the defensive player of the year next year. You got Stephon Gilmore, who you just signed to go along with
that defense
on the other side. Yeah, so I think they'll make some noise, at least in the regular season, like I said. At 6, I have the Bills. This is a team I expect to take a step back, but at the same time, you have Josh Allen, right? You have a top 5 quarterback in the league, so you'll be valuable. You'll be in the playoff hunt and playoff race and potentially race, trying to get a Super Bowl because you have a quarterback. It's hard to find a top 5 quarterback in this league. And once you have one, you're always in that conversation. There's always a possibility. But I have them below division team in Miami. I have the Dolphins at number 5. And hear me out. I think their coach, McDaniels, I like him a lot. I seen them go into Buffalo in the regular season. I seen them play well against a number of teams. They get Tua back healthy. If Tua can stay healthy, and I said this before, they were rolling with Tua. I don't think they lost a game with Tua when he played the whole game at quarterback. You got those fast receivers, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, that's going crazy. You add Jalen Ramsey into that mix on defense with Xavier Howard. I think Miami's going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. And a lot of this is going to credit to McDaniels. I like what he did in his first year. That was his first year with Miami. He's bringing a new feel there. And this is all dependent on Tua getting healthy. But I think Miami will make some noise. I don't think Super Bowl contender just yet, but I think they'll be one of those teams that shocks a lot of people.
Get to that second round, maybe even.
Yeah, and I think they can win that division.
It's surprised me that you had them over the Bills, but your breakdown, it's understandable now.
Yeah, and the Bills take, and the reason I put them over, another reason, I know I touched on the coaching for Miami, but I feel like the coaching for Buffalo isn't what it is. I think Sean McDermott is getting a little bit too much credit. I see them fold in playoff games. I know they went back and forth with the Chiefs a couple years ago, and they've been in them. They just can't win them. But that's where coaching comes into play. Like I said, you got a top 5 quarterback. You have defensive players. You have Stephon Diggs. Everybody was raving about Gabe Davis, and he was one of these top receivers, and I heard nothing about him when it came to the end of the season and playoff time. And they also lose Leslie Frazier, their defensive coordinator. So now you're bringing in a new D coordinator. I think coaching is what's going to separate Miami and Buffalo, and I think Miami has a chance to win that division. At 4, I have San Fran. I have them in the top 5 because they've been a top 5 team, no matter who they throw in at quarterback. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, Sam Darnold, Hakeem Dixon. They could have anybody back there at quarterback, and they're going to win games. Another tip of the hat to the coaching staff. Shanahan does what he does. They're talented. They may be the most talented roster outside of the quarterback position in the NFL. They got dogs everywhere.
Everywhere. You could do so much with McCaffrey and fucking Debo. It's crazy.
Oh, my gosh. Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. They got Trent Williams. They got Nick Bosa. They got some dudes on that team. So I'm going to pay respect to San Fran and put them at 4. Number 3, I have the Super Bowl runner-ups in the Philadelphia Eagles. The reason I don't have them 2 is because they lost a lot of pieces on the defensive end, and they also lost both offense and defensive coordinator. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. Love Jalen Hurts. I like them at Alabama. I think he handles himself very well. Talented, motivated, driven, leadership qualities. True professional. But I love Jalen Hurts. I really do. But I just think, and they're still 3. I think they'll be the best team in the NFC. And that's why I have Philly there. At number 2, I have the Cincinnati Bengals.
And there's no.
At 2, I got Cincinnati. In all seriousness, I think this is a team that has kept the majority. The whole coaching staff is in place from the Super Bowl. Usually when teams experience success, they lose some coordinators. They lose some of these key pieces, right? So you keep your coaching staff intact. You have Joe Burrow. Top wide receiver core in the league. You get this offensive line right. The first half of the season, the middle of the season of last year, you've seen this offensive line starting to get better. For those that was following the games, they started getting better. They dealt with injuries, and that's what shot them in the foot come playoffs. But you have Alex Kappa, who won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady on the Bucs. Ted Karras, who won a Super Bowl with the Patriots with Tom Brady. Now you bring in Orlando Brown, who just coming off a Super Bowl. That's 3 Super Bowl offensive linemen. More than half your line has Super Bowl rings, right? So you figure that out. Lou Anarumo, that's the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, has found ways to plug and play players. Trey Hendrickson, Mike Hilton, you get Cheetah Bear Woozier back. It's a lot of pieces on that team that I think will make them, very valuable in a Super Bowl contender. And then number 1, the Super Bowl champion. You pay respect. As long as Mahomes and Andy Reid is there. Of course, Travis Kelce, but I think Andy Reid is a mastermind. I know they lost Eric Bieniemy, but Reid was calling most of those plays, and he's been around. He knows the way of the NFL. He's been winning at this level for a long, long time, and Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm not going to argue that, at least at the moment. I'm not going to argue that. So I give it to them at 1. But let me know the list. Let me know what you would change, what you hate, what you love. Let me get a quick rundown.
Bro, phenomenal list, bro. Like, I feel like you hit the nail on the head with every single one of your picks. Like I said, the Bills and Dolphins was a little tricky to me, but the way you broke it down, it makes absolute sense. I feel like the way they're trending in kind of opposite directions. I still think the Bills will be a formidable force. But we'll have to see if Tua is healthy. This Dolphins team is going to be a team to reckon with. I think the Niners will be a question mark as well too, just with their quarterback situation and on what they can do going forward. I think once they get a guy in the center that they can start building that trust with, start getting the rhythm with, this team could possibly bounce up the rankings a little bit higher. I was surprised by the Jets being at 11, man. I didn't think they was gonna make the cut like that. But
let me tell you why they made it. I feel like they're all in. You know, they're all in. They got a lot of young pieces, and they're ready to make a splash, right? And I feel like if they don't make the splash, it could, like, you hit a fork in the road where you go, oh crap, we can make some noise, we can do this, we can be a contender. And you have to put the pieces in play, or you don't put the pieces in play, and that can change if your team is moving in a positive direction or a negative direction. If that is your peak, you don't want that to be your peak, right? And I think it's the same thing with Detroit, but I have more confidence. I put Detroit, I think, at 10 and the Jets at 11. And the reason they're at 10 is because they have their quarterback from last season. You know, they have Jared Goff, who played well last season. I mean, if you look at the NFC, Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback. You can argue that Jared Goff was the second best quarterback in the NFC last year.
Definitely argue that. You could definitely argue it.
You know? So that's why I had them there, but I do give respect to the Jets. And because Aaron Rodgers said he plans to play for the Jets, and this is the thing that's supposed to happen, I'm going off of them having Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they'll be a Super Bowl contender, but I think they'll be on the outside looking in.
You know who I'm surprised about?
Who?
No Saints. With the Derek Carr,
Saints.
No Saints with the Derek Carr edition.
Yeah, no Saints. They're right on the outside looking in. They're probably 17 or 18. The reason being is Dennis Allen, their head coach. I don't know if I don't know how much trust I have in him. I haven't seen too much. And, you know, you got Alvin Kamara with his off the field issues. I know they got Jamal Williams. They got Mike Thomas back. It's just a lot of question marks in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like there's nothing that's solid over there. Even Derek Carr, you know, this is first. We just talked about teams, quarterbacks going to a new team and how that first year everybody struggles except for Tom Brady. You know, so my thing is we'll see how it goes. But they're right on the outside looking in. They'll be.
You know who I think's gonna break into this top 16, and we literally just talked about this a couple of days ago. Bro, I don't think the Bucks are gonna be bad, bro. I do not think they're gonna be bad, bro.
The funny thing is, I was looking at PFF's. I'm giving them a little shout out, but who cares? I was looking at PFF's power rankings like yesterday or something, and they had them at like 11 or something crazy.
Bro, I'm telling you though, you take Brady out after having, just hear me out, after having the season that they just had with a Tom Brady who was struggling with that nut-ass offensive line. At least in situations like that, Baker can get out of that pocket, move a little bit, and make them throws. You still have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Bateman. Like, you still got Cameron Brate. Like, they still have the fucking weapons. The defense is what kept them in fucking games last year, bro. And then you add Baker, he's not a fucking, if it was like we was talking about with Cam, it's not all 32 quarterbacks are not better than fucking Baker Mayfield, bro. Like
and he has something to prove.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. The whole team, after having a trash year like that, we don't know what was going on in the locker room. We don't know if niggas was like, yeah, I'm tired of Brady, to be honest with you, man. I don't know, bro. Like, I think, like, if everybody was like dropping off, then yeah. But, bro, Mike Evans could still be Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's phenomenal in the slot. Julio, that vet. Then you still got Fournette. And who lost? He's lost the starting position to who? Who's their running back?
Fournette got released.
Oh, he got released. So, but who was starting in front of him?
Fuck. I think it was Ronald. They released both of their running backs, bro. I think they're trying to draft Bijan Robinson out of Texas, but I don't think they have whoever you're thinking about. If it was Ronald Jones or maybe I'm drawing a blank. Maybe they did have somebody that real quick. Yeah, look it up. Look it up. But yeah, so that's the round out. Top 5: KC, Cincy, Philly, San Fran, Miami. Another reason I have Cincy so high is KC won the Super Bowl, right? That AFC Championship game, they put up 23. It was 23-20. It wasn't like they put up 30-something points, you know, or something like that. Like, we couldn't control them. I think there was a lot of mistakes on Cincy's part. Eagles speaks for itself. They were just in the Super Bowl. San Fran, like I said, they've been consistently winning. And then Miami.
Rashard White.
Rashard White. Yeah.
He didn't do too bad. He was all right. One of Brady's little favorite Jones out of the backfield.
Yeah.
But
And I think they have a lot of faith in him, too, for them to release. But I still think they'll draft a running back. I don't know if it'll be Bijan, but that's what my gut's telling me.
don't be surprised if these Bucks come up, man. I'm not gonna get you on the Browns because I feel like they still got a lot to prove. I'm gonna let that rock. But
You have to let that rock.
Shame on you.
Bro, you got to give it up on the Browns, bro. You know who else would be hype about the Browns? C.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man. If they didn't have Deshaun, I'd be cool. But I don't know. We just gonna see, bro.